Hello guys, welcome back to Technology Moments. This is Alan. Today in this practice moment session dedicated to those of you who are wondering, first, if it was possible to create a captive portal using hardware from EnGenius, and of course how easy it may be to set it up, also what you could look forward to find on its cloud interface, what we should experience, and a few more things. So what to expect from this video? First, we're going to see the hardware needed to run a basic hotspot portal. Then we're going to see the basic steps that you need to take in order for you to deploy a captive portal. Of course, it's basic configuration. Then we are going to test our deployment, and we're going to end with our conclusions and recommendations as it is usual. As for the hardware that you're going to need, today we're going to be using an EnGenius gateway and an access point. You can deploy a basic captive portal with just the use of a cloud access point. Our recommendation is, of course, to go for at least this model that we are using today. This is the ECW520, an extraordinary 2x2x2 access point, which features all Wi-Fi 7 advantages. This means it works in the 2.4, 5, and 6 GHz bands, and it is oriented for the high users density environment, providing active connectivity for up to 500 clients. Incredible access point. By the way, we invite you to watch our video dedicated to this access point to see how you can set it up in no time and how you can benefit from all those great features the EnGenius Cloud-based hardware can offer you. So once you access your online cloud account and you have access to your hardware, remember that you can do this remotely from anywhere in the world, which is very useful for IT managers managing multiple sites. You can do this from your dashboard, and you will go to Configure. You're going to choose access point, SSID, and you will then add a new SSID that is going to be used for the portal. Give a name to the SSID and check the bands that you're going to be using. Very important to leave at least the 2.4 and the 5 GHz band. The 6 GHz band may be for your VIP clients with higher data transfer speeds. If you want, and this may add a layer of security to your clients, create a password. This is just for connecting to the Wi-Fi network. Make that password public to your clients. Remember to keep it simple. If you're going to make a segmentation, select the corresponding VLAN for your network. This can be done right here. These protocols that you see right here are associated with roaming, but can disrupt older clients' connections. Always check advanced settings in case that you want to implement or personalize isolation, band steering, and a few more things. Apply your settings at this moment so you don't miss any configuration. Now you just go to the Captive Portal tab and enable it. You will have the options Click Through, EnGenius Authentication, Custom Radius, and Voucher Service available for everybody. And if you pay your subscription to the Pro version of the EnGenius Cloud, you can deploy LDAP services, Active Directory, or even Google and Microsoft-based access. Very interesting, by the way. I think we're going to be using some of these in future videos. Just for testing, we're going to deploy a voucher-based portal, so we select this option. We'll send a notification to the portal manager. That as a short parenthesis right here, you can access here to see which one of the users is currently front desk manager, or you can just create one. I would suggest copying this address, as that one is the address that is going to be used to manage the vouchers, connected users, and more. We then create a plan for your guests. Here we'll choose first access and create a plan that will contemplate access time and how many users can create the same voucher. Here, the destination address where users will end up upon connection. More of that in a moment. Then you'll apply your settings, and you'll want at this moment to create the vouchers for your clients. So you'll just paste the address that we copied a moment ago and use your credentials. You can do this from anywhere in the world. You can keep track and control your own portal. You can generate up to 20 guest passes or a personalized combination. Very useful. You can export to a CSV file and create a mail merge and send vouchers to your clients however you want. You can also keep track of previously created passes right here and see their status to see if they have been used or are still valid. At this moment, you will have finished the process. Of course, you'll be able to restrict bandwidth right here. You will be able to personalize your splash page with your logo, names, and conditions. This is the page that will be shown to the users so they can type their vouchers, and many other very interesting configurations that we'll be covering in future videos. Okay, now let's go to test our deployment. Just connect to the Wi-Fi network that you have just created and you'll see how your policies are gonna apply and you'll see how your portal behaves. Depending, of course, on the type of authentication that you preferred, you will have a more friendly approach to the network clients for which this portal was created. Also, it is very important that you test the effective connection speed that you are getting when connected. So if you have any restrictions in place, they are being applied. Right here, you can see, for example, a simple file transfer being limited by that connection speed that we set a few moments ago. Very effective. As we promised, this was going to be a short video. Our conclusions after more than 3 months using this solution is that it is very stable and reliable. Forwarding or destination address upon connection does not always work, and this depends, of course, on the client, which is something that by the time you watch this video may have already been solved by the manufacturer. Recommendations, there are always going to be some. For example, depending on the number of connected clients, choose the right access point. Most of the times, problems with captive portals come from the misuse of the access point. Too many clients connected to the same access point may directly affect your connected clients, which in many cases may be your customers, and they may get an undesired experience. This one, for example, is an access point for up to 500 active connections. Another consideration, make the connection as simple as possible. Your customers will appreciate that. Most of the time, a voucher-based authentication will suffice. If you want to collect data from them, just redirect your users to your own survey, but let them be the ones to choose if they want to give their data or not. Finally, when deploying this type of scenario, it is very important that you make tests with at least 3 operating systems to see how it is going to behave in a real-life scenario. For example, use Windows, use iPhone, use Android, but most importantly, use a current device and try to use at least a 4-year-old mobile device to see how your policies are gonna be applying and how they work. Okay guys, thank you very much for watching this video. Remember that if you want to actively support all the time and effort that it takes for us to create all these videos for you, just subscribe to our channel and like this video. See you next time.